Welcome to the deep dive.
Today, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the life and work of Nikola Tesla.
Oh, wow.
We've got some biographical excerpts,
Yeah.
some scientific explanations and historical accounts,
Awesome.
and we're going to try to unpack how Tesla went from a kid fascinated by electricity
Right.
to a visionary inventor whose ideas still resonate today.
Yeah, it's a fascinating journey,
Mm-hmm.
and one that often gets lost in the myth of Tesla.
Right.
Everyone knows the name, but what did he actually contribute to science and technology?
Yeah.
And why is he still such a compelling figure?
Exactly. So we know Tesla was born during a lightning storm,
Oh, wow.
which already kind of sets the stage for a dramatic story.
Right.
But what's really intriguing is how his early life might have shaped his unique way of thinking.
Absolutely. His family background is fascinating.
Okay.
His father was a Serbian Orthodox priest,
Oh, okay.
and he really encouraged intellectual pursuits. But his mother was a skilled inventor herself. So you have this combination of intellectual curiosity and practical ingenuity right from the start.
And the sources mention that Tesla experienced intense visual phenomena during a childhood illness.
Oh, wow.
Some speculate he may have had synesthesia.
Yeah.
I've always found that idea captivating.
Yeah.
Could that have influenced his ability to visualize complex scientific concepts?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Imagine experiencing the world where sounds have colors
Right.
or numbers have personalities.
Wow.
If Tesla had synesthesia, it could explain his remarkable ability to think in images and see his inventions in his mind's eye before building them.
That makes so much sense.
And this ability to visualize seems to be key to his eureka moment with the rotating magnetic field.
Mm-hmm.
He was walking in a park reciting poetry when suddenly the solution to building a more efficient motor just popped into his head.
That moment in the park was a turning point.
Yeah.
The rotating magnetic field was the missing piece for creating AC motors. After that breakthrough, we need to talk about the current wars between AC and DC.
Ah, yes, the battle between Tesla and Edison.
Their rivalry is legendary, but it also reveals a lot about the challenges of bringing new technologies to the world.
They were both brilliant minds, but with vastly different approaches.
Okay.
Edison was the savvy businessman.
Mm-hmm.
He championed DC current,
Right.
while Tesla, the visionary inventor, believed AC was the future.
And Edison really went all out to discredit AC, didn't he?
He did.
Publicly electrocuting animals, even an elephant, to portray it as dangerous.
It's a dark side of innovation that we often forget.
It's a reminder that technological advancements aren't always embraced with open arms.
Yeah.
There are vested interests, economic considerations, and sometimes even fear-mongering that can hinder progress.
But in the end, Tesla's AC system won out. The Chicago World Fair was a pivotal moment, demonstrating the power and efficiency of AC on a grand scale.
It was.
It illuminated the entire fairgrounds and essentially marked the beginning of the end for Edison's DC empire.
That's right. The Chicago World's Fair was a game changer.
Yeah.
Think about it. Millions of people witnessed the potential of AC power.
Right.
Its ability to light up the night.
To power machines to transform the world.
And it's interesting to note that even amidst this triumph, Tesla showed his true character.
Yeah.
Westinghouse, his partner in developing AC, was facing financial trouble.
Right.
And what does Tesla do?
He tears up his royalty contract, essentially sacrificing a fortune to ensure the survival of AC power.
That act speaks volumes about Tesla's motivations.
Yeah.
He wasn't driven by personal wealth. He was driven by a desire to see his inventions benefit humanity.
Right.
He truly believed AC power could improve lives, and he was willing to make personal sacrifices to ensure its success.
Yeah.
It really sets him apart from someone like Edison, who is very much focused on the business side of innovation.
It's a fascinating contrast.
And after the success of AC, Tesla's vision expanded even further.
It did.
He shifted his focus to wireless power transmission,
Yeah.
a concept that still seems futuristic even today.
His fascination with wireless technology stemmed from the groundbreaking work of Heinrich Hertz and James Clerk Maxwell.
Who demonstrated the existence of electromagnetic waves.
Right.
This discovery opened up a whole new realm of possibilities for transmitting energy and information without wires.
So it's this foundation of electromagnetic theory that leads Tesla to his Colorado Springs lab,
Yes!
where he starts experimenting with high-voltage, high-frequency currents.
And this is where the mad scientist image of Tesla really starts to take hold.
Absolutely.
Imagine seeing giant lightning bolts shooting out from his experimental tower.
Wow.
It must have been quite a spectacle, both mesmerizing and a little terrifying.
Yeah.
But behind the visual drama, Tesla was making incredible discoveries.
Like what?
He observed that the Earth itself could be used as a conductor for electrical energy,
Oh, wow.
a concept that would later be known as Schumann resonance.
Hold on, Schumann resonance.
That sounds like something out of Star Trek.
Can you break that down for us?
It's actually a natural phenomenon where the Earth's atmosphere acts as a waveguide for electromagnetic waves.
Okay.
Tesla believed that by tapping into these resonant frequencies, he could transmit power wirelessly across vast distances.
So it's like the Earth becomes a giant electrical circuit.
Exactly.
And this is where we start to see Tesla's truly visionary thinking. He imagined a world where energy could be accessed wirelessly anywhere on the planet,
Wow.
powering homes, businesses, even transportation systems.
All without the need for traditional power lines.
And he was actually able to light bulbs wirelessly,
Right.
right? No wires, just power flowing through the air.
He conducted experiments with wireless lighting, successfully illuminating bulbs at a distance using electromagnetic induction. Think about that for a second. Over a century ago, he was demonstrating the feasibility of wireless power transmission.
It's mind-blowing. It's like he was peering into the future.
But as we know, his most ambitious attempt at wireless power, the Wardenclyffe Tower, ultimately ended in failure.
Wardenclyffe is a fascinating story, a cautionary tale of ambition versus the realities of funding and technological limitations.
Right.
It was intended to be the first station in his global wireless network, capable of transmitting both information and power.
And he had J.P. Morgan, the most powerful financier of the time, backing the project?
He did.
What went wrong?
There were misunderstandings from the start.
Okay.
Morgan thought he was investing in a transatlantic radio system, similar to Marconi's work.
Right.
But Tesla's vision was much grander.
So he wanted more.
He saw Wardenclyffe as a hub for transmitting power wirelessly around the world.
So when Marconi succeeded with radio and wireless power, proved to be more challenging than anticipated.
Morgan pulled the plug.
Unfortunately, yes.
Wardenclyffe became a symbol of Tesla's unfulfilled dreams.
Right.
But even in failure, his vision continues to inspire.
Yeah.
Think about how much of our world relies on wireless technology today. Smartphones, Wi-Fi, GPS.
It's all rooted in the principles that Tesla was exploring over a century ago.
It's like we're finally catching up to the future Tesla envisioned.
But even as his work on Wardenclyffe was unraveling, he continued to invent, coming up with concepts that were decades ahead of their time.
That's right.
We'll delve into those next time.
Okay.
Exploring Tesla's later inventions, the myths,
and the enduring legacy of this extraordinary figure.
And what you'll find is that many of his later ideas, once dismissed as outlandish, are now finding new life and applications.
Proving that Tesla's genius was far ahead of its time.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
Last time we left off with Tesla's dream of wireless power transmission hitting a snag. With the failure of Wardenclyffe.
Right.
But his inventive spirit didn't stop there.
No, it didn't.
He just kept going, coming up with idea after idea.
It's true. Tesla had this almost relentless drive to explore new frontiers.
Yeah.
And what's remarkable is how many of his later inventions,
Right.
even those that weren't commercially successful in his lifetime, have echoes in modern technology.
Take the bladeless turbine, for example.
Okay.
It's such a simple yet ingenious concept.
Harnessing the power of fluid dynamics.
In a way that seems almost counterintuitive.
It does.
No blades, just smooth discs spinning effortlessly.
It all stems from his childhood fascination with water wheels.
Oh, really?
He was always captivated by the idea of harnessing the energy of moving fluids. And the bladeless turbine was essentially his attempt to perfect that concept.
Right.
To create a more efficient and elegant way to generate power.
It's like he was trying to mimic nature's design.
The way water flew smoothly over rocks,
Yeah.
creating swirling currents.
Exactly. And while the bladeless turbine faced challenges in Tesla's time,
Okay,
due to material limitations,
I see.
modern versions are finding applications in various industries.
Oh, wow.
It's a testament to the enduring relevance of his ideas.
It's a pattern we see again and again with Tesla.
He comes up with these incredibly prescient concepts that seem impossible at the time.
Right.
But then decades later, the technology catches up.
Yeah.
And his ideas suddenly become practical.
It's like he was a time traveler dropping these technological seeds that would take root years, even decades later.
Right.
Another great example is his work on vertical takeoff and landing aircraft.
The VTOL aircraft.
I love this one.
It's essentially a precursor to modern helicopters and drones.
It is.
Back in the early 1900s.
He was envisioning aircraft that could take off and land vertically,
Right.
maneuvering with a level of agility that was unheard of at the time.
His VTOL concept was remarkably advanced.
Really?
He even sketched designs incorporating tilting propellers,
Wow.
similar to what we see in modern tilt-rotor aircraft.
It's incredible to think he was thinking about these concepts over a century before they became a reality.
It really makes you wonder what he could have accomplished with the technology and resources we have today.
But even without those advantages, Tesla managed to lay the groundwork for some of the most transformative technologies of the 20th century.
And let's not forget his contributions to radar technology.
Oh yeah, radar.
In 1917, he outlined the basic principles of radar decades before its practical implementation during World War II.
So Tesla essentially had the blueprint for radar, but it was others who would bring it to life years later.
Yes, the development of practical radar systems required advances in electronics and signal processing
Right.
that weren't available in Tesla's time.
I see.
But his fundamental understanding of how electromagnetic waves could be used to detect distant objects was truly groundbreaking.
It's like he had this intuitive grasp of how energy and information could be manipulated and harnessed.
In ways that others hadn't even begun to imagine.
And his insights weren't limited to just electricity and magnetism.
Okay.
He was also fascinated by X-rays,
Ah.
conducting early experiments, and even creating shadowgraphs,
Shadowgraphs.
which were basically X-ray images.
And what's interesting is that Tesla was one of the first to recognize the potential dangers of X-ray exposure.
He was.
He even described experiencing skin burns and other health issues from his experiments.
It highlights a side of Tesla that's often overlooked, his awareness of the ethical implications of scientific advancements.
Okay.
He understood that new technologies could have unintended consequences,
Right.
and that it was crucial to proceed with caution and a sense of responsibility,
It's a lesson that's still relevant today.
especially as we grapple with the rapid pace of technological change.
Yeah.
And the potential impact of artificial intelligence, genetic engineering, and other emerging fields.
Tesla's story is a powerful reminder that scientific progress should always be guided by ethical considerations.
And a deep understanding of both the potential benefits and risks of new discoveries.
But despite his awareness of these risks, Tesla never shied away from pushing the boundaries of scientific exploration,
He didn't.
even venturing into realms that some considered fantastical.
Right.
He claimed to have received communications from extraterrestrials
Spoke of developing a death ray.
and envisioned technologies that seemed ripped from the pages of science fiction.
This is where the Tesla myth starts to take hold.
Yeah.
The public was captivated by his enigmatic pronouncements,
Yeah.
his daring experiments, and his seemingly superhuman ability to harness unseen forces.
And after his death in 1943, the FBI seized all of his papers,
They did.
further fueling speculation and conspiracy theories.
It created an aura of secrecy, suggesting that Tesla's work contained secrets that were too dangerous for the public to know. But while the FBI's actions might have been motivated by concerns about potential military applications of Tesla's research,
Okay.
there's no evidence that they uncovered any world-altering technologies that had been hidden from the public.
So how do we reconcile the Tesla of scientific brilliance?
With the Tesla of outlandish claims and enigmatic pronouncements,
Was he a misunderstood genius?
a visionary who was simply ahead of his time?
Or was there an element of self-promotion and showmanship that contributed to the Tesla myth?
That's the question we'll explore in our final segment,
Okay.
as we delve into the enduring legacy of Nikola Tesla.
The man who, in many ways, invented the future,
We'll examine the myths, the controversies,
and the lasting impact of his ideas on the world we live in today.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
We've been exploring the life and work of Nikola Tesla,
Right?
a man whose brilliance often sparked as much controversy as it did innovation.
It did.
We've seen how his ideas about electricity and wireless technology revolutionized the world, but we've also touched on the more enigmatic aspects of his personality and the myths that arose around him.
Yeah, those myths are really fascinating.
They are.
And that's what we want to kind of unpack a bit in this final segment.
Go.
Tesla was undoubtedly a genius,
Right.
but his later years were also marked by unfulfilled ambitions and pronouncements that bordered on the fantastic. It's easy to see how the lines between fact and fiction could become blurred.
Take the death ray, for example.
Okay.
It's an idea that has captured the public imagination for decades,
It has.
often depicted in science fiction as a weapon of unimaginable power.
Right.
Did Tesla actually believe he could create such a device?
He certainly explored the concept of directed energy weapons. And his writings contain descriptions of devices capable of focusing intense beams of energy.
Really?
Whether he believed these could be weaponized on a large scale is debatable.
But the fact that he was thinking about these concepts...
Even theoretically is pretty mind-blowing.
It is.
Remember, this was decades before lasers and other directed energy technologies were developed.
It speaks to his ability to think outside the box.
Right.
To envision possibilities that others couldn't even fathom.
Yeah.
But it's also important to note that Tesla was a showman.
Oh, really?
A master of dramatic demonstrations. He understood the power of spectacle.
And wasn't afraid to use it to capture attention and promote his ideas.
And the mystique around him only grew after his death.
Right.
When the FBI seized all of his papers.
They did.
It fueled all sorts of conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Suggesting that the government was trying to suppress his most groundbreaking inventions.
It created an aura of secrecy.
Right.
Suggesting that Tesla's work contained secrets that were too dangerous for the public to know. But while the FBI's actions might have been motivated by concerns about potential military applications of Tesla's research,
Right.
there's no evidence that they uncovered any world-altering technologies that have been hidden from the public.
So how do we reconcile the Tesla of scientific brilliance?
With the Tesla of outlandish claims and enigmatic pronouncements.
Was he a misunderstood genius? A visionary who was simply ahead of his time?
Or was there an element of self-promotion and showmanship that contributed to the Tesla myth?
It's probably a combination of all of those factors.
Yeah.
Tesla was undeniably brilliant, but he was also a complex individual with a flair for the dramatic.
Right.
His pronouncements about extraterrestrial communication
Yeah.
and his belief in his ability to harness incredible forces, like those he observed in Colorado Springs,
Right.
contributed to his image as a figure who straddled the line between scientific innovator and mystic.
It's a fascinating duality.
And I think it's part of what makes Tesla such an enduringly compelling figure.
It is.
He represents the power of imagination,
Right.
the audacity to challenge conventional thinking and pursue ideas that others might dismiss as impossible.
He reminds us that progress often comes from those who are willing to think differently, to see beyond the limitations of the present and envision a future that seems like science fiction.
And while not all of Tesla's ideas came to fruition,
his legacy is undeniable.
It is.
We see his influence in everything from the electrical grid that powers our homes to the wireless technologies that connect us to the world.
He may not have achieved everything he set out to do,
but his vision continues to inspire and shape the world we live in today. And as we push further into the realms of artificial intelligence, renewable energy, and space exploration, Tesla's spirit of audacious innovation seems more relevant than ever.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what's the takeaway for our listeners?
What can we learn from the life and work of Nikola Tesla?
I think Tesla's story teaches us to embrace the power of imagination.
Okay.
To never stop questioning. And to be willing to pursue ideas that might seem crazy at first glance.
Right.
It's a reminder that true innovation often lies in challenging the status quo.
And pushing the boundaries of what's considered possible.
And maybe, just maybe,
to have a little bit of showmanship along the way.
A little bit, yeah.
After all, that doesn't hurt to capture the public's imagination.
As long as the substance is there to back it up.
Exactly.
Tesla understood that to change the world, you need to inspire people. To make them believe in the possibility of a better future. And that's a lesson that's as relevant today as it was a century ago.
Thanks for joining us on this electrifying journey
through the life and legacy of Nikola Tesla.
We hope you've gained a deeper understanding of this complex and fascinating figure.
A man who truly embodied the spirit of innovation.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning.
And keep that spark of curiosity alive.